Thank you guys for tuning in to Up Next TV. Today we're doing an interview with a very special young man from Memphis, Tennessee, a motivational speaker. I'm not gonna do too much talking. We're gonna get into the interview, let you guys get to know him better. What's up, guys? So today we got my guy Miguel Echols, man. He's a motivational speaker straight out of Memphis, man. So Miguel, introduce yourself to these people. Let them know what you do, man.
So, salute to everybody. Peace and power. I just want to say thank you to Up Next TV for having me. My name is Miguel Echols. I'm a public and motivational speaker. When I talk about self-awareness and emotional intelligence, bridge the gap between the two through strategics, analytics, and study behavior patterns. And I work with whether it's military, athletes, entrepreneur, high education students, or everyday workers within the corporate American space, whether it's a one-on-one, classroom, or stadium-like setting.
Yeah, this dope, bro. It's dope. So you say you're a motivational speaker. How did you get into the field of motivational speaker? Like, take us back to your childhood. Like, where did it all begin? Like, how did you know, bro, I'm a motivational speaker? Like, how did you know?
I had an idea actually when I was like 12 years old.
Oh, 12, man, that's young.
I had a glimpse. I couldn't fully see it, but I had
Uh-huh.
an idea because it clicked because I was always much more I think it's 9 types of intellects, and one of them is linguistic smart, and I think that's life smart. And I was always really, really smart ahead of my peers.
Yeah.
And sometimes I used to be isolated from them because I was like so smart.
Yeah.
So it just because of the frequencies was so different, we couldn't attract.
Yeah.
So when I was 12, it was like, man, why, I wish I was into more circles, but I'm a little bit different. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's when it started to click a little bit that I'm actually a little bit more smarter as far as
Yeah.
maturity wise than everybody else. And then fast forward, it didn't really click until, when I was in service and I
Mm-hmm.
was coaching basketball in the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to do this thing, it was called Friday night class. That's a
Yeah.
very, cheesy, basic name, Friday night class.
Yeah.
That's what we used to teach the athletes, and it was international athletes. It was Japanese, American, European American,
Mm-hmm.
African American, and what we used to be teaching was about finances, women, men, negotiation,
Yeah.
branding, digital real estate, tech. We talked to them various different products, and I just had all this information, and I was just giving it away. I was just dropping game, dropping game, dropping game,
Yeah.
and eventually, long story short, I got booked for a speaking engagement, international speaking engagement. And that's when I started. And I didn't have a system at the time. So I started working with the likes of Nino Brown and Evolve Benton. And they basically put that system in place like, yo, you can do X, Y, Z, you can get paid off this, actually turn to a bid. I was like, what? I ain't
Mm-hmm.
even know that. I was just doing it straight raw and
Yeah.
just, here you go, here you go, here you go, very old school. And then that's when I really took off and just like, you know what, I'm finna just do this full time.
Yeah. So I heard you say a business. That's what I love. That's what I love what you said, business, because a lot of people don't know, like, many of the things that we do is a business. Like, a lot of people like just to do stuff for fun. Like you say, man, speaking is a business. Like what we doing right now, what I created is a business. So are you a business type of guy? Or like, do you believe in businesses? Like, do you believe that, do you want to own a business one day? Do you want to build a foundation off your speaking?
So to answer your question, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's levels to it, right? So you
Yeah.
got 3 levels, as I like to classify. You got your hustling,
Mm-hmm.
which is, you sell your product and you get a quick flip. And
Mm-hmm.
then you got your business, which is, transactional based. That's where you get your LLC, your little S corp, but you really a single person, what
Yeah.
I'm saying, operating every part of your business. The main part we need to be focused on is trying to actually think like a company and get towards a company level, like the
Mm-hmm.
Walmarts, the cologne brands, the
Yeah.
Macy's. That's when you have multiple employees where you start to get your time back and you start making money, without you being there, and and you can focus more on having a positive impact. So that's the point where I want to get to is like start thinking at a company level, employ more people, create my own economy to, impact people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you grow up in the church, man? Like, was you, because I heard you say you started doing that 12-year-old. Did you grow up in church? Did you always had that thrill, like, to, like, in a pastor? Because a pastor always up there speaking on the stage. Have you ever had that thrill of, like, I want to be there one day? Or it was just something unexpected?
Now, church, that one, I was forced to go to church. So I ain't really like
Yeah.
going to church. You wake up
Yeah.
5 in the morning and you'll get done around like 4 in the afternoon. And
Yeah.
the meal preparation. You finna eat some spaghetti, some dressings,
Yeah.
and some chicken. Don't and I'm
Yeah.
I ain't like that lifestyle. That wasn't for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just knew they wasn't gonna be in that space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah.
Yeah, I think that's like the typical African American kid. Like we was all forced to go to church. Like, cause I used to hate going to church. I used to hate getting up on Sundays and going to church myself, bro.
Facts.
Yeah. So how old is you?
I'm 23.
You 23. So you said you was in the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you? What are you still in the Marines? Do you do the thing where people go once a week and stuff like that? Once a weekend?
No, I was doing active duty.
Oh, so you was doing active duty.
I was on active, but now I'm on the inactive reserve.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I'm gonna ask you this though. So do you feel like that motivational speaking helped you out in many ways in your life? Do you feel like who is a motivational speaker that you look up to?
Man, it's plenty. We got Kareem Johnson. Now this ain't in no particular order. Kareem Johnson, Doggy Diamonds, not TJ Jakes, TD Jakes, Kwame Brown, Nino Brown, Evolve Benton, and I'm gonna put myself in that list. I gotta put myself in that list.
Yeah.
Some other people that ain't motivational speakers, I look up to Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle.
People was doing things for their communities.
Right, Tony Robbins, and I'm young about I'm giving them social currency too.
Yeah,
I see Tony Robbins, Love Dorsey, she's underrated, slept on.
Yeah,
Earn Your Leisure, 19 Keys, Derek Grace. Yeah, and Brian Adamson, he's a remote household. Yeah, it's plenty of them. So
yeah. So what's your so I heard you talking about finance. So give us a little game on the finance. Like give us a say a young man that's watching this channel, or even just anybody that's watching this channel. They working at, I'm gonna use me for example. I was working at Captain D's at the age of 16 through 18, and I'm making $7.25 an hour. And say for instance, they want to start a business or something. What would you recommend them to do if they making $7.20, the least the minimum wage? How would you tell them to budget their money and start a business?
All right, so really simple. I would say try your best to save every dollar. While you working there, right now we're in the best time to actually work a job. It's the worst time, but the best time, because like you can get more hours and the pay is up. Because when I was, coming to school, the pay was at $7.25. You had to submit a resume, and it was very competitive. Now you can pretty much go on the scene, and they'll give you plenty of hours, and along with the money. So if I was in, they shoes, I would save their money first, but I would actually, in my notepad, mental notes, really a notepad, or get you a piece of paper. Paper lasts long. Write down your goals. And what I did was I would write down my goals and how much it's gonna cost. Like, okay, I want to start up a business. What business do I want? How much is gonna cost for a mentor, or how much is gonna cost to get the product and supply? How much is gonna cost if I want to, go to college? How much is gonna cost if I want to move out my, mom and daddy house? Like you start breaking down the cost. So as far as starting up a business, depends on what type of business you want. Then once you figure that out, try looking for a mentor and just ask them some questions. They are minors, so they're probably gonna be more willing to give them a conversation for free than a grown person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of young people don't understand, man. Like, even with me, because I'm 19 years old, it's easy for me to reach out to somebody to ask for help. Like, because I'm young as far as a 30-year-old asking for help. That's a big difference. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So that's why I'm out. Yeah, so it's a big difference. A lot of young people don't understand it. A lot of young people, they had a mindset of, ain't nobody gonna help me. Bro, you young people. That's what people want to help.
Yeah, so, people gonna want to help you. That's the beauty of being young. And then they'll get your price down. Some of them may even pay for it if you know how to negotiate right. It's called, using OPM, other people's money. You know how to, if you know how to use your mouthpiece. A lot of us know how to dirty Mac.
See, I don't know how to see. That's my problem though, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how to negotiate. Like, I know how to sell myself, but like, I don't know how to sit up here, like, have a conversation that make you like you say, make people pay for, make people want to pay for it, because I'd be like, I pay for it myself. But you never know if you, like you said, if you had that right conversation and you know how to talk people into it, they'll do it for you.
Right. So really, you got to put yourself, and to the people that's this, you got to put yourself in position, because you can't tell somebody your dream and they ain't got no money. They ain't got no money, they can't help you. So you got to put yourself in position around people where you can be able to negotiate, and where you can be able to use OPM. Like for a student, you would try to talk to a teacher, and I would say teachers, they'd love to give you some money. The right one, not all of them. They'll love to give you some money because they know what you're talking about. You got your paperwork right. They'll love to give you some money. Principal. You can go to the counselor. You can go to the board. You can go to like some of these, nice restaurants, golf course. And sometimes you got to walk. You probably gonna stink. We know you ain't got a car, but you're gonna stink.
Yeah.
What I did was I had a backpack. I had like a wash towel and some soap. And go in there, how bad you want it?
Yeah.
I want the money, right? How bad you want it?
That's what it's about, man. For real though, man. That's what it's all about, man. A lot of people ain't dedicated to it. So I heard you say you walking. So did you have like growing up? Did you not have it all, man? Like how was your lifestyle growing up, like far as finances and all that?
Nah, I ain't have it all. I was growing up, in a single parent home, single mom, and she wasn't working. She was at first, but then as we got old, she started working. And what I did was I sold candy, and I used to watch cars.
Yeah.
And so I only had $35 that I got from my grandma.
Yeah.
She $35, and I was like, I can't be broke no more. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
So what I thought was, I went to the store. I walked like 2, 3, 4 miles. I had this dirty backpack. I put clothes. I was like, I know I'm gonna have some showers and water, so I'm gonna be good. So I walked.
Yeah.
Had some beats with the cord on, mobbed, and I went to the Dollar Tree. Got what's the little box of Ziploc bags? It was like 100 in the pack, and it was like for $1. Okay, that's one. I got 34 left. Went to Lit Juniors. I found a ride to Lit Juniors. It took me a little bit, about a week. Got me a 6-pound bag of Fruities. So then I was able to fill that up. That's $100. So 7, 100, you made a big profit. You do the math. Then the box of chips, they got the 30 box, and it's only for like $12 out of Sam's. That's another profit. And then I got some drinks.
So you always had a hustler. You always had a hustle mentality, man.
Yeah. So that's when I started flipping.
What part are you from? Memphis though?
Yeah.
What part of Memphis did you grow up in?
South.
Man, this what's up. So I'm gonna flip this around a little bit. I'm gonna ask you a little bit about the hip hop industry today. Now, I heard you say something about Young Dolph, but the passion of Young Dolph. You from Memphis? You actually from the side that you from, and it shocked the city when Young Dolph passed away. How did you react to Young Dolph passing away? Like, what was your thoughts on it? How did you feel about that?
I was kind of sad and upset because I actually had like 2 conversations with him.
Yeah.
They was very powerful conversations with him. And, to see where he started at. I remember seeing him when, he had the creases in his jeans. A lot of
like when he used to pass the CDs out, he had the little fro, man, like this how long,
I remember that. He used to come to like the schools and stuff. So I remember where he started at. And what he grew into is basically like everything he talked about, he made sure it happened. And for him to be able to change, his family life, his, future generation life, he changed the other people around him. And for him to, go out like that, we all say he could have, would have, should have done this, but some things, are just out of your control. You can't just live life, on fear. And, unfortunately, that happened. But what's done in the dark gonna come to the light.
Exactly. So a lot of people feel like that the hip hop industry is kind of like what's causing death, and a lot of people feel like the hip hop industry is kind of like wicked. What do you feel about that? Because I'm gonna tell you how I feel right quick. I feel like, man, hip hop is art. Like, I just look at the whole hip hop industry as entertainment. That's what I look at it as. I understand, like, for instance, Young Dolph and his real name is Adolph Thornton. Those are 2 different people. Adolph Thornton, that's the real person. Young Dolph, they're just for entertainment. That what he publicized. That's what he make money off of. Young Dolph. So I look at it all as entertainment. I love rap, bro. Like I love the culture of it. And sometimes you will see things, sometimes you do hear things that like, whoa, but I just love rap. So what is your opinions on it?
Just like you said, you gotta know how to separate the man from the character. But really, it ain't it ain't just, music. It's really, how people, teach, inside their household. And
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know a baby is being raised before they come to the earth.
Yeah.
Because
Man, what do you,
when
dang, it's deep, man. What you mean by that? I ain't never said that. What do you mean by a baby is raised before they come to the earth?
so they even tell you like in science class, like when you give birth to a baby, they take all your genetics. So
Mm-hmm.
what you doing right now gonna play a part into what you pass down to your kid. They come from
Mm-hmm.
your body. You know what I'm saying? So when they actually come into the world, they already take on some from your genetics. And then when they're in the mom womb developing, they already taking on more. They taking on, more of the genetics because they on the front line even more because they listening to the music. They taking on majority of their food, that your mama consuming. They taking on her energy and things like that. So a lot of people don't think about that.
Mm-hmm. Man, I totally agree with you on this. So what message would you lead to any young person, to a young man that's watching this, that he come from a community he come from like a community that you from South Memphis, he come from a community that you from South Memphis, and he want to change his life. What's the steps that you would tell him to be able to change his life? Because what made you become, because I understand like you come from South Memphis, you a motivational speaker, and bro, that ain't normal coming out of South Memphis being a motivational speaker. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like that ain't normal. Like, I want to say I'm very proud of you for doing this. So what would you tell a young man? How would you motivate a young man that want to beat the odds and become better in life?
So I would say we gotta get clear on who we want to be,
Mm-hmm.
not based off anything else playing a factor, like far as these outer sources, buildings, people, and things. Get clear on, what you want to do. And sometimes we can't be, afraid to look the other way
Mm-hmm.
because everybody, they want to rap, play ball, do all these things. Sometimes, we have to go in other spaces. We gotta know how to spread out. We gotta know how to code. Some gotta know how to do public speaking. Some gotta know how to be personal trainers. And if you try to get clear on, what you want to do, then you start going in those directions. And it's not just about getting to the bag. That's only half the problem. You still got to feed yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So you can start
Yeah.
researching and getting into groups where you can start feeding yourself the right things through your five senses that God given you.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you start getting clear and you start working towards that direction, then that's when the nature of the world start changing for you. And it
Man,
puts you in a position.
it's dope what you just said, man. Because I feel like that's what a lot of people like. A lot of people, they never define them. Like, a lot of people, they always looking at other people. See, for me, I'm gonna use me for. That's why I don't like. Like, I don't like looking at like, if I'm in the industry, like how I just started this media company. I don't like looking at other media companies while I'm doing my thing, because that's gonna cause me to lose track of what I'm doing. Because of course they got more than me. They're just the type of person that I am. So that's why I always stay focused on what I have going on. And that's what a lot of young people lack today, bro. Like, they don't stay focused on nothing they got going on. They always focus on everything else but them. Like, they'll blame the whole world for their problems but them. And mine in the African American community.
Right, right. And it's nothing wrong with, once you pick a lane, it's not wrong with looking at other people in that lane
Mm-hmm.
and just looking at them and like, dang, they got something in their game that they doing, and it may spark your mind. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you put your own sauce on it. Because take, for example, there's plenty of companies out here. Look at Burger King and McDonald's. Look at Shell and Circle K.
Mm-hmm.
They all competitors, but I'm pretty sure each CEO went into the other store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got a product, and they pay attention. They start studying they consumer, and they study their competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you do that, you can go, okay, they got that. I'm doing this. This one I'm struggling with. They doing it really well. So I'm gonna add this to my wall. And I
Yeah.
got my own secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing wrong with looking on the outside, but you still focus on your vision.
Yeah. Man, this dope though. So we with your motivational speaking, this what I meant to ask you. Why you don't be creating content, bro? Like, I'm telling you, man, content is king. Like, well, why you don't be creating content?
So I create content. I was doing it all last year, and kind of got burnt out a little bit. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a social media fast because that
Mm-hmm.
stuff can stuff can get weird to me because I never really,
You were never that deep into it.
Yeah, I wasn't that type of guy like to be on the camera and always doing it. And it was kind of weird because I'm going in the middle of the street just talking to myself. So I had to take a break, but I'm gonna get back to posting content because I had to create a system for it.
Yeah, man, content is king. That's how I always get bookings. Because as you know, I'm a motivational speaker as well, bro. Like, that's how I get bookings. People reach out to me through my social media. That's how I got booked. I just recently spoke in my old high school. I got another speaking event coming up with MAM, the program that I'm employed by. I got another speaking program coming up with them. And that's why I always say content is king. Like, content was gonna get you, because everybody scrolling through Instagram and Facebook. And if you say something that people want to hear, they gonna hit you up.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get back into it. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, so you're an entrepreneur. You're not employed by nobody.
No, I work for myself.
So do you plan on making investments like such as real estate and all that type of stuff? Because you seem like a businessman. I want to learn a little bit about investments and all that. Do you not invest?
Yeah, I do make investments on the side. And so for anybody who want to learn how to, look into investments.
Yeah, I want to learn this, man.
Tech is the biggest, investment that you can make right now. And you got various different ones. You got quantitative analysis, coding, 3D animation, Forex, stock market. Hold
on. Oh, you good, bro? Man, take your time.
I'm gonna give it all to you. Quantum computing, spatial mapping, robotics, 3D printing, augmented reality, virtual reality, holograms, spatial reality, artificial reality, regenerative design, artificial intelligence, blockchain, cryptocurrency, generative design, NFTs. And that's the tech. That's where the world is going. But for some of the Joes who ain't, working towards tech and, the digital side is other routes. Everybody think, real estate and what's another, the stock market. No wrong with those, but there's other place. You can have your daycare, you can have your gas station. You can start your sports franchise. You can start franchises. Like some people who ain't good, at creating their own business, you can actually buy a business. They had a business model for you and everything, and the marketing to put behind it. So it's very. And another one, government and corporate contract. The corporate contract thing is a little strenuous processing. However, government contracting is a great way to get in the door where you can get you some money. Because government, they have about $34 trillion left over.
34 trillion.
So yes, and with that, they basically mean they have their money allocated from the military staff.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper to say, hey, keep your active duty person to do the job, because active duty, you got to pay for all the other things, like healthcare, dental, flights. So it costs a little bit more of an investment. But for somebody like you, they be paying people like for doing 7 days of work, 30,000, 70,000. You have a water company, they give you a 3-year, $1 million deal.
Yeah.
So, and they buy anything, haircuts, snacks, tablets, anything you got, you name it. They'll buy it. And corporate contracting is the same thing, but it's a little bit more strenuous because corporate, they want like Sam's level, like big things, but you work your way up to it. So, just research.
Yeah. So in tech, man, I was actually, when I was in high school, I was in a computer code class, man. I hated it because I always been like a media guy. I always been like a personality type of guy. I always been a guy that wanted to be in front of the camera. I always wanted to be indulgent people. I just can't get it to with my hands typing. It's just boring to me. That's how I feel, but it is a good investment. Like if I was to I wouldn't do it, but if I was to invest my money into like another young man that wanted to do that, I would definitely invest my money to him and allow him to start his own business. Like there's something, man, because like you said, that is what the real is going to. Things like tech and all that type of stuff. So are you into tech? Like, have you ever considered taking up tech classes?
Yes, it's in the works. And we got to think about, it may seem, it's not the popular thing to do. We got to get past that.
It's not.
Sometimes getting the bag ain't always popular. Some people pressure wash cars and make 100,000 a year. It ain't the most popular thing. It's the most effective thing. And with this tech, you gotta like look at it like, how can it benefit me? See, it was kind of boring because like you was taught like you didn't really know your purpose and how it could benefit you. Well, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure now if you know how to code, it's all types of stuff you can do with this type of media program.
Yeah,
Or
that's why I wish I would have paid attention, because now me getting to this field, bro, I could have been coding and putting stuff in the computer people don't know nothing about. So that's why I kind of regret it.
coding free too, so you can go online and take like free coding classes.
Mhm.
And we gotta start, like I said, start thinking at company levels. You can be okay, I don't like code or I don't know how to code, but my other partner next to me, he know how to code. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna bring him in and I'm gonna take him on as my employee. And now I start developing a company. Then I get income tax benefits. And then too, if you want to do an SBA loan, they'll pay you because you have actual real legit employees. And then you can start giving them bonus and start moving like an actual company.
Mhm. Yes, and this, man, I'm glad you said that, because that's what it's all about. Like, man, I feel like that's what a lot of us lack, us young people. We lack thinking like businesses. You got to literally think like a business, like every day. See, we was taught to think like an employee. Like we was taught to think, go to college and get a job. No, because like I'm a college student right now. My major is communications. This is why I started this media company, because I want to learn how to communicate to people. I'm not going to college to work for nobody, because it's just pointless. Because I feel like society sometimes set you up for. Oftentimes they set you up to be in a rat race, so they set you up for failure. What's your takes on it?
You can look at it like that, but really, it just creates more opportunity elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody, a lot of people, like you say, learn to be employees, and it take that one where it can come in and say, "Hey, I'm finna think different," and then
Mm-hmm.
you could bring in your other people and hire them, as employees and actually treat them right, you
Yeah.
know. So it's all really, on the outlook. Because some people they probably don't, that's why some people don't want to be entrepreneur. That's why I teach people how to leverage and make the most out of their platform. So regardless of what position they in, they still know how to move and live solid and be
Mm-hmm.
clear on who they is and what they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel like this dope, man. Like, we got it says like Memphis is a city, bro, full of talent. Like we got rappers, we got like people like you, motivational speakers. And I feel like this is not highlighted enough. And like, man, like with you, when you start your company, or like when you become bigger, bro, like do you want to come back into the communities and give back to the South Memphis community? Or not only South Memphis, how do you want to what do you feel like the city need right now? Like, what do you feel like the youth need more than anything right now in the city?
So to answer that first part of the question, I give back anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this right now is another
Yeah.
form of giving back. Going to a volunteer event, is giving back. Dropping my intellectual property, which is my content, is giving back. I be giving a lot of free game.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you don't always have to be big or have a camera in your face to give back. You can
Yeah.
just pick up trash, off the floor in your neighborhood somewhere, still be giving back. You don't have to
Uh-huh.
be a big popular person to do that. And to answer the second part, what the city need right now is we need a couple of things. One, we need to work on our mental health,
Yeah,
as far as
facts.
anger and emotions, and and people teaching them how to get clear on what they want to do. See, quick shout out real quick. If anybody want anger management lessons, make sure you DM on Instagram, Karim Johnson, Karim Johnson. He do anger management.
Mm-hmm.
So get clear on that, and we need to start getting people understanding of what they want to do, because we have a war on two fronts. We
Mm-hmm.
got negrotivity, and or as people like to say, negativity. We got negativity and we got negativity,
Hey, go
or
into that, man. I want to hear about that. What is? Yeah, tell me about that.
we got pettytivity or negativity, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So the pettytivity is basically like that little small stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know, some of us not having any money, some of us basically having clean water, good flushing toilet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A good, nice looking house. You know what I'm saying? They hygiene on point. They actually get oxygen to their brain.
Yeah.
The small stuff that we take for granted. Once we teach people how to get clear and identify these things and start focusing on trying to make those areas better personally, then we can focus on the bigger issues like, preserve the environment, impact the other people in the community, and things such as that nature. But a lot of youth, they can't see past the next hour,
Yeah.
Or the next day or the next 3 days. So we gotta get them looking, we gotta fix their short-term
Man,
mindset to
it's
start looking
true.
at the long term.
It's true, bro. What you just said, some real stuff, man. Like, they touched me. Like, I'm dead serious, but like, they just told what you said. A lot of youth can't look past the next hour. A lot of you can't even look past, man, a year from now. Like, they can't even see themselves where they're gonna be at a year from now. Because, like you say, a lot of us mental health, like, it's always like in the hood, like, not only in the hood, like in social media. Like, I be on this all the time, and I just realized, bro, like, you just literally suck in toxic stuff every day. Like, you carry people problems with you that you don't even know nothing about. So what do you feel like? What do you feel like all this anger stem from? What do you feel like just people? It's some people just automatically get the mindset of, man, I want to kill them. Like, and it's sad that people think like that. What do you feel like they come from?
Man, so social media, the things that we consume. See,
Mm-hmm.
we've been blessed to have 5 superpowers through our
Mm-hmm.
5 senses. What we see, what we smell, what we taste, what we hear, and what we touch. And a lot of things, what we take in is a lot of negative things.
Mm-hmm.
See, and we blame it on other things, but we don't be accountable for ourselves. And be like, you know what, I'm on social media. Let me start deleting all this stuff, that ain't really feed me and teach me my purpose. So a lot of times, even for men, we'll go on, social media and we'll be like, dang, she got big titties. Let me see what's up with her. Like,
X.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or, you see a woman, she see somebody else with long nail, she be like, oh, I'm finna do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't even really benefiting. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta know how to clean up your social media, clean up what you watch on TV. Sometimes you gotta cut the TV off.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what you're listening to, like far as the music and stuff you intake. You can listen to, music and all that is cool. But one of the things that you have to be concerned about is listening to it at nighttime because it programs into your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to what you eat in your body or, what you put in your body as far as food consumption. Because, all these things cause different reactions. So make sure you take a note and study your behavior patterns as far as, what you be eating and how it make your body react. Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to what you smell. You have good circulating oxygen in your brain. Your nose stopped up all day. Your nose
Mm-hmm.
stopped up all day. It messes up your imperative. So it's our 5 senses that really, affect us in our decision making. Once we
Mm-hmm.
know how to clean those up, open those up, it's going to or I ain't gonna say really eliminate, but it's gonna bring those problems to like a
More
minimum.
awareness.
Yes, more awareness of what's going on around you. As far as like where the anger comes from, not having, their parents in the household,
Mm-hmm.
or not having a stable household,
Mm-hmm.
having those war on 2 fronts. Like I said, petitivity and negativity, having those
Yeah.
small problems with big problems. So, but once you get more aware and start working towards that, you're gonna naturally clean up the small problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get in a situation where you can focus on the big problems, you'll be much better off.
Yeah, man, this facts right there. So I heard you say something about a lot of people mad because their parents ain't in the house. So like, I'm gonna share a story right quick, man. I remember I was in the 8th grade. Like, I'm glad you said that. I remember I was in the 8th grade. My father had actually just passed away. I took a lock and I had started like I went to school. I started beating a lock against the wall because I was so angry. And like, just imagine if there was somebody like actually standing right there. Just imagine somebody would have messed with me that day. And that's what a lot of kids go through. Like, a lot of kids, they don't know how to. I mean, they kids. You understand, like, they kids, but I feel like a kid should have a safe place. A safe place. Like, you should, like, as a kid or as a human being anyway, you shouldn't try to hold all that in, because once you hold all that in, eventually it's gonna get up here and it's gonna spill out.
Right. And sorry for your loss, RIP to
Yeah.
them. We have been, robbed
Mm-hmm.
of our childhoods. 'Cause a lot of
Yeah.
times we're forced to like grow up, and we're not even taught what to do when we grow up. So we
Mm-hmm.
get out, we really don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
It's so much more. So I'm breaking down. In our childhood, they don't teach you how to prepare to grow into being into your purpose and who you are as a man and as a woman. you kind of teach to rely on other things to be able to do that instead of the own household that gave birth to you. And so, you know, us men, we're not educating men or, you know, the young boys on how to be men, and women not teaching, you know, the young women how to be women, too busy compete, or the ones that's supposed to be teaching us, their attention caught elsewhere because they got they war on two fronts they haven't even figured out yet. And so they just
Facts.
acting on no problem. Because being a kid and actually being a good parent is actually fun when you actually think about it. It's some work. You know, how you say it don't if you ain't ready to have a kid, don't have a kid, but it's actually fun. Dressing them right, teaching them how to tie their shoe, teaching them how to do CPR, teaching them how to stitch, teach them how to go hunt, teaching them how to cook for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them healthy, teaching them how to connect with their spirit is actually fun. Then when they grow up, some of these problems gonna be already alleviated. Then once they know how to be a man, they're gonna be more confident in themselves because they understand their body, understand their finances, they understand how the world work around them, and they're accountable for themselves. So, you know, a lot of us, we, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, it's messed up.
Yeah, I get
But
what you're saying, man. Like a lot of people, a lot of us, we just been, it's just like we've been blinded to reality, or like we never had we haven't had like what our parents didn't know nothing, so it was passed on down to us not to know nothing. Then we get in the world and we try to figure it out. And some people get it. So like some people get it and some people don't.
yeah, some people don't, but it takes time. And that's where, you know, you actually see these people. That's where you got to actually, one, we need to know the art of communication. We got to know how to be able to talk to people. And you got to pull them to the side, you know, as a man, we got to, you know, get used to, you know, talking to somebody. I ain't saying G check somebody, no, because, you know, it might be hostile about it, but you got to pull them to the side, be like, look, bro, you know, I've been in your house, you know, I respect you. I got, you know, got a ton of respect. I got love for you. I salute you. And don't ever say but. And your bathroom smell like piss.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to clean up this bathroom. I'll say, hey, your tie messed up. Let me show you how to, you know, fix your tie real quick. You know what I'm saying? Start trying. Even for women, you know, start trying to, you know, if you know something, what I'm getting at, if you know something that can make somebody else better, always pass it on. Pass the information on. It may not always apply to you. Well, God didn't give us information stored up in ourselves. We have 6 degrees of separation for a reason. Pass the information on. And, you know, you give them time. Be graceful. Give them time to fix themselves. However, if they want to be hard-headed and, you know, they don't want to fix themselves, you just got to keep them at a distance. You know what I'm saying?
So I heard you say something about, I heard you talking about women like passing on knowledge. Man, a lot of our women today, like, I honestly don't know what to say about them. Like, they ain't nothing how our grandmama was or anything like this. So are you in a relationship right now?
No.
What do you feel about women in today's world? Like, what do you feel like most women don't have in today's world? Or matter of fact, answer this question first. What type of woman do you desire?
One who is secure and understands, you know, have an understanding of the man and herself. It's that simple. And as far as the women today, you know, I'm not gonna be that type of guy that do that whole, you know, and I ain't throwing shade, but I'm not the guy to be like, oh, beta, red, you know, cool. I ain't doing all that. But what I will say is the women today, they've got more innovative. I will say it, they got more innovative and they became more revolutionary. Well, it's in a good way. It's a double edged, so it's a good and a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Like we revolutionize, we really modernize and change things. But however, we gotten away from the traditionalism. And I say, even for men, we need to always know how to get back to our roots. Because take a tree, for example, it's always attached to its roots. It's not gonna ever just be up in the sky. You never see no tree in the sky detached from its roots. But we've gotten away from our grandmamas and, you know, granddaddies and the people that hold us accountable foundation. Once we get back to that with our innovatability, or if that is a word, you know, innovativeness, then that's where you really start seeing the change. And then once we start valuing having a strong household again,
Yeah.
and that's when we're gonna start winning.
Yeah. And I'm gonna ask you 2 more questions, man. We're gonna get up out of here. So I'm gonna ask you this: what do you see yourself at in 10 years? What do you see yourself at in 10 years? Like, just within, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years of your career, or whatever it is that you want to do in life? Where do you see yourself
In 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
So to sum it up, I ain't gonna get into detail.
Man, get into details if you have to, man.
One thing is called concealment. You know, you share it, but you know, you can't tell everybody, because then you're gonna always create certain things, unintentional consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, you know, you have to keep certain things concealed, but I can give you a generalization of it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, I'll be real, I just want to sit down somewhere. I want to be a speaker, but like, you know, take it far. But at that point, 10 years, I want to start focusing more on health.
Yeah. 10 years, you'll be 33.
I'll be 33. I want to start focusing more on health and, you know, trying to, you know, get better at that and start knowing how to be a better teacher to other people. Because right now in my 20s, I'm just really focusing on myself. Even though I'm still giving back, I'm still focused on myself, getting the money. But then 33, I want to be able to be that. I want to be a better teacher. You know what I'm saying? And sit down somewhere.
Yeah. So you want to be kind of that type of guy, like you 33, you chilling, like, you know, you go out of town, do a speaking event if you have to, and come back to the city and chill.
Come back and chill and probably work on some projects. I don't think I'm gonna sit down, but I want to do more, you know, creative stuff and more involved, you know, helping and working with people.
Yeah, this is my last question, man. What message would you say to any person that's in the world that feel like giving up, like they just feel like they lost all hope, they feel like they're in a position in their life to like just not give up? Because let me just say this: you the first person on this show, and as I continue to keep posting content, a person may come back to this video 5 years from now, watch this video. What would you say to them 5 years, or what would you say to a person that's just going through it right now?
Like I've been saying through this interview, get clear on what you want, as far as, you know, your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Like you gotta get clear on all those levels. And then you feel like giving up is really the time to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
It's times where I want to give up. This stuff ain't, you know, always easy. Make it sound easy, but you know, people don't talk about, you know, the sleepless nights, the depression, anxiety, the scariness, you know.
People don't talk about, people gonna show you their highlights, but everybody, because like you say, some days I feel like, man, this ain't gonna work out, I want to give up. People ain't gonna talk about that. They gonna always tell you the good.
Right. So you gotta just really, like I said, that's the best time to keep going, because the next day gonna be better. But you just gotta focus on taking that, you know, next best step. Even in the words of what Kevin Samuel said, he said take the next best step.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it could be a small thing, like, you know, okay, I feel like giving up. Let me write this one sheet of paper, or let me write this one essay. Let me read this one book. Let me just get in the shower real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay, now I've done that. Now what's the next step? So just taking them baby steps, walking. And then once you look up, you've been laying one brick at a time. Eventually you're gonna look up, you're like, dang, I dang near built this house. And when you're going through that process of taking the next big step, don't focus on looking at everything at once.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay, I'm finna do this. Now I'm done. What next? I'm finna do this. So you feel like giving up, just take it one step at a time and just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And then eventually, you know, you ain't gonna feel like giving up no more, because you're gonna look back and be like, dang, this was a hard day.
Yeah.
But I made it to the next day. If you make it to the next day, anything can happen. That's how you gotta look at it and just keep going.
Man, it's facts, man. So, man, I want to thank you for coming on Up Next TV, man. This is the first interview of Up Next TV. And bro, also, when my merch come in, I'm gonna be sure I give you a free shirt, man, because you was the first person, like, we talked on the phone. You, man, you have no problem with doing it, man. So I want to thank you for being the first person to come to Up Next TV, bro.
No problem, no problem. Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, and tell them what I can find you at on social media, man.
So you can just find me on social media at my name on Facebook, the one with the military uniform, or you can find me on LinkedIn. My name, Miguel Echols, MIGUEL ECHOLS, or you can find me on Instagram at m.e.n Trepreneur, TREPRENUER. I think I spelled that wrong, but
you good, bro.
Basically, M entrepreneur.
Yeah. All right, man. That's gonna be the interview today for Miguel Echols, guy, the motivational speaker from Memphis, man. Appreciate y'all, man. More content coming soon.